Their counterattack is intense this evening. Exactly. That's a fantastic play. Just make sure to keep Draymond out of it to prevent the onslaught. That's the key right there. Draymond Green is widely recognized as one of the league's most unpredictable players. Introducing Jimmy Butler into the Warriors lineup means having two explosive personalities on the same team. With their playoff hopes dashed, the pressure is mounting quickly. A heated exchange between the two after a game has sparked speculation among fans about an imminent eruption. In this video, we'll analyze that intense moment and explore its implications for both players and the future of the Warriors franchise. The stunning exit and its shocking repercussions. Before we delve into the stunning highlights that have captured the attention of the entire NBA community, let's set the scene for this dramatic episode. The Golden State Warriors faced elimination from the 2025 NBA playoffs by the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 5 of the Western Conference semifinals on May 14, 2025, ending with a score of 121-110. This defeat shattered the Warriors' hopes for a championship after they acquired Jimmy Butler mid-season, a trade expected to elevate their performance. The impact of this loss was even greater due to Stephen Curry, the Warriors' star player and key offensive force, being out due to a hamstring injury sustained in Game 1 of the series. Without their playmaker, the Warriors faced an overwhelming Timberwolves team that displayed relentless aggression. Then came the fallout. The media briefings after their exit were more than just heartfelt. They were charged with suppressed fury, disappointment, and a volatile spirit characteristic of both Green and Butler amid their turbulent careers. In his press conference, Green's demeanor conveyed a powerful message. In an effort to keep calm, the rage bubbling just below the exterior was evident as he spoke to the press. How difficult is it to wrap up a season like this under such conditions without all the extras? It's disappointing to finish with all the distractions, but they outperformed us. Injuries are simply a reality in a Week 1 championship. The strain in his voice, the unmistakable tightness etched on his face, and the manner in which his words came out through clenched teeth all revealed a man on the verge of bursting. The palpable tension and fervor between Green and Butler allegedly escalated to alarming heights in the locker room right after their exit. The leaked video that emerged captures Green and Butler in what can only be termed a fiery exchange. The intrigue surrounding this altercation stems from the tumultuous and aggressive past both players share. They aren't merely NBA athletes quarreling. They are two of the league's most provocative and dynamic figures. The league hasn't witnessed a personality like this in years. Butler, clearly annoyed at his press conference, provided responses that suggested deeper issues. Fantastic. A group of fantastic individuals putting in immense effort, alongside promising young talent destined for success in this league. It's always about maintaining health and building chemistry on the court. The difference between his expressions and his statements was quite notable. Discussing promising teammates ahead, his physical demeanor conveyed an entirely contrasting narrative filled with frustration, fury, and repressed feelings. His reluctance to meet the reporter's gaze when questioned directly about his connection with Green spoke volumes about the volatile atmosphere rising within the squad. Reports indicated that the strain had been escalating for weeks. As the Warriors found it difficult against the Timberwolves, Green and Butler began to lay blame on one another, with fiery confrontations during timeouts and in the locker room becoming more frequent. The playoff elimination match was merely the tipping point where any semblance of team cohesion ultimately fell apart. During a particularly revealing moment in the press conferences, Green addressed inquiries regarding the team's prospects, delivering a response that many speculate subtly targeted Butler. I genuinely believe we could have achieved more, but we fell short. That's the reality. Yes, we came up short. The constant yes and his condescending tone hinted at a man battling to hide his genuine emotions regarding the events that transpired privately. When questioned later about Butler's performance, Green's remarks appeared to show admiration, but were perceived by numerous people as an indirect critique. He acknowledged, credit to those guys, they defended effectively and performed admirably. Observe how he sidestepped the issue, focusing on the Timberwolves instead of Butler's impact. This sort of passive-aggressive reply has defined Green's way of communicating throughout his contentious journey in the league. Risky dynamics, the turbulent pasts of Green and Butler. The intense showdown between Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler after the Warriors' exit wasn't merely an impulsive reaction. It was the unavoidable clash between two of the NBA's most unpredictable and fierce figures. To fully grasp the significance of this encounter and its impact on the basketball community, we must explore the troubling behavioral trends that have characterized both athletes during their contentious careers. We'll begin with Draymond Green, whose aggressive history has earned him a reputation as one of the most intimidating and, in numerous circles, detested players in the league. Green's pattern of perilous conduct transcends mere competitive fervor, venturing into realms that have consistently posed risks. His actions have jeopardized not only other players, but also his team's cohesion. In December 2023, Green faced an indefinite suspension after striking Joseph Nurkic in the face during a match against the Phoenix Suns. This incident wasn't a mere misstep in a basketball play. It was a calculated act of aggression that led to his extended ban. Green was sidelined for 12 games prior to his return on January 6, 2024, underscoring the NBA's serious stance on such reckless conduct. Just a month prior, in November 2023, he received an ejection for placing Rudy Gobert in a chokehold during a contest against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ironically, that was the same team that knocked the Warriors out in 2025. This chokehold was far beyond mere unsportsmanlike behavior. It posed a significant risk of injury. Green was handed a 5-game ban for this aggressive incident. Earlier in April 2023, he stomped down on Domantas Sabonis' chest in a playoff match against the Sacramento Kings. Take a moment to reflect on that. He intentionally stomped on someone else's chest during a basketball game. This reckless act led to yet another suspension, solidifying his reputation as a player unafraid to breach boundaries that many would hesitate to cross. One of the most troubling events occurred in October 2022 when Green attacked his teammate Jordan Poole during a practice session. Footage that surfaced later highlighted the brutality of the incident, capturing Green delivering a brutal right hook that allegedly sent Poole crashing to the floor. The practice session was abruptly stopped, and the team faced significant challenges in recovering from this display of aggression. This occurrence was so impactful that many argue it irreparably harmed the team's cohesion and played a role in Poole's subsequent transfer to the Washington Wizards. The released video revealed not just a fleeting moment of poor judgment, but an unsettling propensity for violence, even toward those considered allies. This trend persists across Green's professional journey. In the 2016 NBA Finals, he struck Steven Adams in the groin and later aimed a swing at LeBron James's groin. These actions weren't basketball maneuvers. They were reckless assaults directed at opponents' most sensitive zones with a clear intent to inflict pain. Green's aggression has spilled over into situations outside the basketball arena too. On July 11, 2016, Green found himself in custody in East Lansing, Michigan, charged with assault stemming from an incident near Conrad's Grill. Police documentation indicates that Green engaged in a physical dispute with another individual, reportedly slapping the man after their disagreement intensified. Alarmingly, the victim stated he was also choked and punched, reflecting a troubling trend of aggression similar to Green's past conduct on the court. In contrast, when we examine Jimmy Butler, we observe a different yet just as harmful behavior pattern. While Butler's unpredictability is less about physical confrontation and more about tumult within the team, the impact he's had on several organizations is irrefutable. While playing for the Miami Heat from 2019 to 2025, Butler exhibited increasingly unpredictable and destructive behavior. In early 2025, after missing out on a contract extension, he faced 3 suspensions in a short span of time. He was suspended for 7 games on January 3, 2025, due to conduct harmful to the team, followed by a 2-game suspension for missing a flight on January 22nd. His departure from practice on January 27th resulted in an indefinite suspension. This troubling trend ultimately compelled the Heat to trade him to the Warriors on February 5, 2025. The Heat organization seemed to be skillfully navigating the circumstances to rationalize his departure, highlighting the toxicity of the relationship. However, Miami wasn't the first to feel Butler's impact. His time with the Philadelphia 76ers from 2018 to 2019 was fraught with strife and turmoil. Merely 6 weeks post-signing, during a film review in Portland, Butler notably confronted head coach Brett Brown in an aggressive and disrespectful fashion, as reported by those present. This exchange lacked any semblance of constructive feedback. The coach's authority faced a public challenge that disrupted team cohesion. Butler's actions went further. He was seen on live TV during a game expressing, "That's not going to cut it," pointing at Brown's tactics, thereby shamefully undermining his coach in front of countless fans and his fellow players. Such acts of defiance fractured the team spirit and played a role in Butler's swift exit after only 1 season. One of the most notorious instances of Butler's chaotic conduct occurred while he was with the Minnesota Timberwolves. After asking for a trade, he boycotted training camp. But on returning for a particular practice, he created a scene that is now infamous for its hostility. During this event, he allegedly led the bench players to outplay the starters, all while launching verbal attacks at fellow players, coaches, and the front office. In a dramatic display of his unpredictable nature, he reportedly yelled at general manager Scott Layden, "You fuck. You require my presence, Scott, as your victory hinges on it." What transpired wasn't effective team leadership. It was a strategic move of mental manipulation aimed at facilitating his exit from Minnesota. Throughout his stint with the Chicago Bulls from 2011 to 2017, Butler fostered discord and strife. He openly attacked coach Fred Hoiberg's approach, labeling him weak, and faced persistent clashes with fellow player Joakim Noah, disrupting the locker room atmosphere and jeopardizing the team's cohesion. Butler has openly acknowledged, "I genuinely struggle with authority," a statement that sheds light on his ongoing tendency to confront coaches, executives, and team hierarchies across his career. When the Warriors brought Green and Butler together in February 2025, it was more than just a talent acquisition. They were fusing 2 of the league's most unpredictable and potentially harmful elements. It was a volatile mix ready to ignite, and the postseason exit was the catalyst. During their brief stint as teammates, Green and Butler had already engaged in multiple fiery confrontations. An article from the Times of India highlighted the duo's initial altercation, which occurred shortly after Butler joined the Warriors, framing it as a conflict over a botched pass. Although this incident was publicly minimized, sources indicate the clash was more heated than suggested. The footage released following the elimination game portrays the consequences of fiery personalities clashing amidst playoff letdowns. In the clip, which quickly gained traction online, Green is shown pointing vehemently at Butler, who confronts him instead of retreating. Teammates hurriedly intervened as the verbal spat escalated, necessitating physical restraint for both players. The altercation allegedly persisted in the locker room, out of sight of cameras, where tensions soared even higher. It reached a point where physical intervention was essential to avert a serious escalation. What's especially concerning for the Warriors is the rapid onset of this conflict shortly after Butler's arrival. If such discord surfaced in merely a few months as teammates, what could a complete season entail? This looming question hangs over the franchise as they navigate a precarious offseason. In February 2025, the Warriors didn't merely bring in Green and Butler for their skills on the court. They fused two of the NBA's most intense and unpredictable energies. It was like a ticking time bomb poised for ignition. The playoff exit turned out to be the spark they needed. During their brief stint as teammates, Green and Butler had already experienced multiple fiery confrontations. An article from the Times of India touched on the initial altercation soon after Butler became part of the Warriors, framing it as a conflict stemming from the thwarted pass. Although this was publicly downplayed, sources indicated that the underlying tensions were considerably more severe than reported. Footage that surfaced following the elimination game vividly illustrates the volatility that arises when two heated personalities clash amid the pressures of playoff setbacks. In a viral video circulating on social media, Green is shown aggressively gesturing in Butler's face, while Butler defiantly moves forward instead of retreating. Teammates hurriedly intervened as the dispute escalated, with both players requiring physical restraint during the heated exchange. The clash allegedly persisted behind closed doors in the locker room, away from the prying eyes of cameras, intensifying significantly. The situation escalated to such a degree that physical intervention was required to quell the rising tensions. This incident raises serious concerns for the Warriors, occurring shortly after Butler's arrival on the roster. If such discord has surfaced after merely a few months together, what might an entire season hold? This question looms over the franchise as they navigate through a precarious offseason. In the third segment, we'll delve into the implications of this fiery clash for the Warriors' future, assessing the likelihood of success with this precarious duo or the necessity to part ways with their unpredictable stars to prevent further fallout. A ticking time bomb partnership. Is the Green-Butler synergy sustainable for the Warriors? The heated exchange between Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler after the Warriors' playoff exit was far from a fleeting outburst. It represented the culmination of mixing two of the league's most tempestuous figures amid the weight of significant expectations. As tensions cool following their fiery confrontation, a pivotal question arises for the franchise. Can this perilous alliance thrive, or is it fated to collapse in dramatic fashion? The footage capturing their post-confrontation struggle highlights the core issue confronting the Warriors. In a widely shared video, the intense feelings and barely restrained rage are unmistakable. Green's face, twisted in fury, depicts him gesticulating fervently at Butler, who advances defiantly instead of calming the situation. Teammates rushed in to pull apart the two explosive personalities as their dialogue escalates further. The ferocity of the clash has reverberated across the NBA. Veteran analysts, drawn from years of experience, recognize that such animosity among teammates is unusual and alarming, especially considering the backgrounds of both athletes involved. Adding fuel to the fire is the personal history they each carry. Green and Butler have both struggled to manage their emotions and prioritize team cohesion over their explosive personalities. Throughout their careers, both have exhibited tendencies that imply this altercation heralds ongoing turmoil rather than a singular event. When the Warriors brought Butler on board at the trade deadline in February, skepticism filled the league regarding the decision to unite such fiery personalities. This duo appeared primed for friction, as each is used to steering the emotions and discipline of their squads. The anticipated struggle for emotional supremacy seems to have kicked off in full force after their elimination. In recent press conferences, both individuals have subtly criticized one another while striving to project a sense of togetherness. In response to inquiries about the team's prospects, Green gave an answer that some perceived as casting doubt on Butler's dedication. That remains completely unchanged. You'll adapt and take any necessary steps to enhance your opportunities. Here at this location, I'm confident they'll pursue that path. The focus on adaptation and taking required actions hints that adjustments might be essential, possibly even moving on from Butler if their partnership appears too unstable. When questioned about his perspective on the team's future, Butler appeared to shy away from fully committing to the Warriors. It's challenging for everyone involved, both West and East. As I mentioned, if we're in good shape, if this and that align, it could turn out differently. We can't predict it. Nonetheless, we're definitely going to seize our opportunities, as there are possibilities ahead. Observe how he highlights whether things are available instead of displaying assurance in collaborating with Green. When questioned directly about when the main players would gather to begin strategizing for the upcoming season, Butler's answer was indicative of his lack of commitment. Perhaps on a flight, I can't say for certain. Definitely, at some point this summer. The contrast between these remarks and the intense exchange recorded on video portrays a concerning outlook for the Warriors' future. The recent clash has evidently led to rifts in the locker room, causing an increasingly strained and uneasy atmosphere as players deal with the fallout. This situation poses a significant challenge for head coach Steve Kerr, who must now contend with two unpredictable personalities that struggle to coexist. Known for prioritizing team cohesion and culture, Kerr promptly organized a crisis meeting with both players the day following the incident to confront the issue head-on. For the Warriors management, the fiery dispute between Green and Butler is a complicated predicament. After trading major assets to bring Butler on board and offering him a substantial contract, they have a lot riding on ensuring this partnership is successful. Simultaneously, they can't overlook the disastrous consequences that might arise if this tumultuous dynamic continues to linger. The Warriors management now stands at a pivotal crossroads that will influence the direction of the franchise. Is there a method to channel the fierce competitiveness of both Green and Butler while avoiding further incendiary clashes due to their unpredictable natures? Or will they need to eliminate these volatile influences to protect the team's ethos and hopes for another title? What adds to the intrigue of this scenario is that both Green and Butler are exceptionally skilled athletes, each contributing significant abilities to the game. Green continues to be recognized as one of the leading defensive strategists and adaptable playmakers in the NBA, whereas Butler's rare ability to excel on both ends and deliver in critical moments is a valuable asset. In theory, their synergistic abilities could potentially prolong the Warriors' championship opportunities with Curry. However, the game is not merely an abstract concept or a matter of hypothetical scenarios. It involves individuals with intricate emotions, distinct personalities, and varying relationships. The video capturing the intense clash between Green and Butler post-elimination serves as strong evidence that the human aspect could jeopardize what appears to be a bright prospect on paper. League assessments indicate that rival teams are monitoring the developments intently, with multiple contenders seemingly investigating the possibility of the Warriors trading either of their players during the offseason. The unrest stemming from this dispute may diminish Golden State's bargaining power should they choose to act. As the Warriors face a crucial offseason, the spotlight will be on their strategy in handling this unpredictable scenario. Will they prioritize team chemistry over personal conflicts? Or will they acknowledge that certain explosive pairings are too risky to sustain despite their on-court advantages? The intense video that surfaced following the Warriors' playoff exit isn't merely a snapshot of high emotion. It highlights a core dilemma confronting one of the NBA's most prosperous teams. Will they be able to manage the dynamic potential of the Green-Butler duo? Or are they facing a ticking time bomb that could unravel their entire legacy? The viral clip showing Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler's fiery exchange post-elimination reveals deeper implications beyond just an emotional moment. It offers a disconcerting glimpse into the future of a franchise standing at a pivotal juncture. As the aftermath of their fiery clash settles, the Warriors confront a summer filled with uncertainty, wrestling with the question of whether this tumultuous alliance can endure or if it will tear the team apart from the inside. The clash shown in that now notorious clip was more than just playoff letdowns. It signified the unavoidable clash of two basketball titans, each renowned for their relentless, often damaging styles of competition and interpersonal relations. Green, notorious for his history of confrontations and emotional reactions, colliding with Butler, who leave behind a trail of disrupted locker rooms and organizational strife, created a perfect storm of unpredictability that erupted at an inopportune time. The Warriors franchise now grapples with the difficult decision of whether to fully commit to this precarious duo or to sever ties to prevent further fallout. Basketball experts have noted that the locker room dynamic has begun to fray, with the clash fostering an undercurrent of tension and ambiguity regarding the team's future trajectory. Although the organization has tried to minimize the seriousness of the dispute in public statements, the circulated video reveals a contrasting reality. The charged nature of their interaction, combined with the tense body language and the necessity of multiple individuals to intervene, indicates a rift that goes beyond typical game day frustrations. Complicating the situation further are financial and strategic considerations. The investment the Warriors have made in these players is significant. In 2023, Green secured a 4-year, $100 million deal, while Butler was granted a 2-year, $111 million extension following his trade to Golden State. Parting ways with either player is a complex and costly endeavor, yet keeping things as there could jeopardize the team's culture entirely. For Stephen Curry, the franchise's leading figure and a highly regarded player in the league, this scenario presents a tough choice. At 37, Curry's championship window is closing, making it essential for the Warriors to effectively support him during these crucial remaining years. Will the supporting cast encompass both Green and Butler, considering their evident difficulties in cohabitating, or must the team confront the tough choice of parting with one to maintain overall team cohesion? The video of their altercation has stirred discussions across the league, with basketball analysts suggesting that franchises are keenly observing the situation, possibly gearing up to extend offers if the Warriors opt to part ways with either player. This added scrutiny further complicates an already precarious scenario for the front office. For the Warriors, under the leadership of General Manager Mike Dunleavy Jr., the forthcoming months will demand a careful balancing act. Can they mend the strained bond between their unpredictable stars, or will circumstances necessitate a hard decision that could alter the trajectory of the franchise? Whether this alliance can be mended will dictate if the Green-Butler duo fades into a mere historical note for the Warriors or transforms into a cornerstone of their dynasty. Judging by the intense clips of their fiery altercation, the odds lean toward the former instead of the latter. As the Warriors forge ahead, they must confront the tough truth that sometimes the most gifted rosters don't yield the most effective teams. The footage of Green and Butler's passionate clash underscores that in basketball and life, chemistry and compatibility often hold equal weight to individual prowess and ability. This concludes our video. To discover more captivating videos like this, tap on the cards displayed on your screen.